Razor would have been the best hero by far, so it was a really good ban.
Yeah, because I was thinking about Razor with Tidehunter, you get Ravage, or you get Tackles coming out, and you just sap that damage.
Maybe it was better they picked Razor instead of picking Tide, because there's still like Enigma in the pool if they ban the Tide, if they want the overwhelming team fight. Yes, Enigma's easier to disrupt, but he does more outside of the ult. I like it. I can get behind this.
Good against Bristles. Good against all these heroes. I like Necrophos quite a bit, and seem to do quite a bit of work in this lineup.
The only problem with it is that it shifts a lot of focus to the Shadow Fiend.
5 seconds remaining.
Which I suppose isn't too bad, because he's gonna have the cogs to help him win his lane and stuff. So he's probably gonna be off to a pretty good start this game, unless the Slardar has some GG roams. And Necro's also really good at dealing with Bristle in lane, so if they wanted to do the aggro dual lane with the Bristle, it's a bit easier to deal with. It looks like it's a possibility they send Veno down instead. I don't know, they basically are going to have 2 dual lanes, wherever they want to put them. It's up to them.
Annoying lineup from ALLFAN A.Loda stack. So Invoker, Slardar, Venomancer, Keeper of the Light, and Bristleback to round it all up for him. Shadow Fiend, Tidehunter, Necrophos, Clockwork, Shadow Shaman. Game 1 of this best of 3. Winner goes on to the regionals for EU, the regional qualifiers.
Qualify for the qualifier.
Right.
Let's go. That sounds like the most retarded thing ever, but it actually makes a lot of sense. So can't hate too much.
It's like tournaments to get into the PGA. Going to a couple of those tournaments, you got to win a couple of. It's kind of like, you know, winning that amateur tournament to get a chance to qualify for the big time.
Yeah, it's just weird when you say qualify for the qualifier, though, isn't it?
Yeah. Right away, we do see the denies coming out.
They missed one. GG. He should have 6 souls. To be fair, it's a bit harder with Necro because his attack animation is slow as hell. Whereas the other game they had the Razor, so it's a lot quicker.
There, so it's gonna be a 10 souls, looking pretty good. You got Milana the Clockwork, Kaiser on that Shadow Fiend Swift Ending, playing the Necrophos over up towards the side. Is going to be 33, and then finally Shadow Shaman played by J4. We'll look at the other team as we see Come With Me on the Slardar. Invoker going to be played by Mickey. Venomancer, nice immortal mounts.
I like that.
Scale comes out on J4. Themselves first. Well, the Shadow right before the Sinner Crush. Maybe just extending the inevitable and launching him on over. There's the Cox pushing him away. J4 does end up surviving. See if they can turn this over on Nikwa and Come With Me. It looks as though they might be able to just run away with it.
This is really good for them though if they're kind of forcing them out the lane from level 1.
And we see how across 2, they do stop those Cogs. Cogs push them away. Now they're, you know, Nikwa and Come With Me both need to use a lot of their regen. Clarity already being used on the Slardar. Got no mana on the Venomancer with no clarity on him. Definitely a problem for the Venomancer as well as the Slardar, and they're definitely going to continue to exacerbate the issue if you decide to plan it up.
Is this lane's meant to like put a bit more pressure, at least at the earlier stages, than the Bristle and Bristle and Coddle will? But you know the problem is, you know, 2 Gales are out of mana. They should still be fine though because there were no blocks on either lanes, and that generally favours the off lane now because of where the lane starts. One thing I do like about this though is that they're going to let this Coddle get a lot of pulling done this game. You push the wave in with Bristle or with the Illuminate yourself, and then you start pulling. and then you get some stacks going. You can farm really easily. And sometimes it's not just about the gold you get, it's also about the levels. Because mana is pretty important in this game. And
I don't know if he wants to stay up that far, and Milan, he's got Cosgrave, he's done his job, that's exactly what he uses. That should be first blood, going the way of Milan. So Planet Dog really working with the aggression of both Clockwork and Shadow Shaman, and proving getting very low, and Mickey will have one back, and it's very good for an Invoker mid lane that takes away a bunch of those souls. Makes this lane a little bit easier for
Loda?
my battery assault was a little preemptive. Bounty rune still just slithering around this jungle. Finders, keepers. Dog.
I feel like when you kill the Vener bottom and you don't see the Slada, that's kind of the cue that something's going to happen to your mid laner. And considering the Shadow Fiend started with, I think it was 13 souls at the end. You know, he's got about 8 denies or so, but Invoker got CS. Or before the death, he was like close. Which I'm not sure how that happens, but credit to Mickey. I knew the guy in Horn as a player, and you know, he seems to have transitioned very nicely. He's a big player kind of person. Because I feel like Invoker, sure he has Alacrity, but Shadow Fiend already starts with like 80 damage, and Invoker starts with like, what, 50 something with Exort Orbs?
Again, I don't know if you can get away with that. So they're crushing them. Starts out with
and now it's actually a really scary lane for the SF whenever Slada's off the map, because now Cold Snap's in play as well. Shadow Fiends tend to like push the wave out a bit. At the earlier levels anyway, when they go for the raises to get the CS. Once he gets level 5, he's just going to triple raise and go to the jungle and AFK farm, and think he's a good Dota player when that happens, as Sing Sing would say. They're actually dead evens, yes. Like the 13 denies are from the cogs, so considering the lanes, like it's all pretty even.
Tornado on 2 should slow him down. Kill. Post death, then will be Milan getting on Mickey. Mickey gets one on Milan. He comes all the way over, drops that ward as he's chasing. Kaiser just getting away with 200 health, nothing else.
And that's how you turn the lane. Big place in the clock.
Chase, I thought they might back off.
If the Invoker got the kill before he died, it wouldn't have been too bad because of the experience, but it ends up being really nice.
But already backing off his Kaiser, Milan's going to come to the battery, so just to deter them from chasing. Really just a bit of babysitting going on in these mid-games. Something we've seen more and more with the most recent patches. Bottom. Even shot is going to bring him quite low. He's just trying to catch the knee, but not level 6 just yet. Won't be able to get that kill. It's low. Just wait.
And it feels like this will be one of the more stagnant games that we cast so far. Both teams now are pretty much just waiting for certain things to happen. I imagine when Tide gets the ball, there might be some kind of rotation come out, but previous to that, it's mostly just to get these flanks and maneuvers to work for you.
I think a little bit of trouble. Come with me is here. He's no corrosive haze or anything. Only level 3. Under the tier 1 Loda just kind of farming away. And now they might want to turn this around with Milan. No real turnaround.
Now he just frees up the other lanes, but it doesn't look like they're going to be able to do anything with that information.
Now, Kaiser's come all the way over towards the jungle level. Stacks pretty well.
I wish they'd fix this ancient camp. Like, you can't stack it as a melee hero because it stomps. Try to use whatever spell it is that roots you, and then you can't stack. It feels super bad. But you want stack to be a bristle in this game. Like, normally you love that camp because you're like a Lina or a Shadow Fiend or something, you nuke it down. But this situation doesn't feel so good. And now Veno's just doing Veno things, clearing all 3 camps at once.
Dire's bottom tower is under attack.
Ward vision. Ward. They don't have a sentry put out, but nah. He's coming over. With a shackle on the cogs, they might be able to kill him off with the battery itself. Clear his way out, make some space, and move over.
It's been going that way a lot, so they might have even known they had a ward there. And, you know, just drawing space. So right now his cores are very content with farm. Boca just, you know, Midas, get levels, you know, pretty standard game plan. The Bristle's got his Vanguard up, so he's gonna be pretty comfortable skipping towers and stuff, but not quite teamfight ready yet.
The whole time he just slithers around, picks up the bounty runes, and kind of continues on his way. Hasn't really been doing much of anything.
It's a hard game for him to do too much because the duel off lane didn't really have any purpose for him once the start happened. And every time he's rotated mid other than the first, he's been met with clock, so he's just finding his way. And him getting Blink's going to be super integral this game because no one else in his team has a form of initiation. Unless you count Bristle walking into a tower and waiting for the other team to show as initiation. Which I suppose you can, but you get my point. He's the one that's going to enable them to take the fights early. On their own terms. Whereas Planet Dog, they just need to get the clock to level 6. Which is a lot easier than farming 1000 gold. Especially when you have 3 cores that want the entire map. On both sides actually. So the supports aren't going to get much this game.
Kaiser is going for that Shadow Blade. We'll see if he can count it. Even if he does. I feel like it's gonna have to happen.
It might not be an immediate transition, but it's definitely on the cards. Whether you go like Dragonlance or BKB in between, depending how you want to fight.
Dire's structures are fortified.
Before the first fight between these two teams, do you think if it's gonna be Planet Dog who want to be the aggressors, are they waiting on Hookshot to line that up with possibly a Ravage and then it's like in afterwards?
Pretty much. One thing that both teams have this game, but I suppose Planet Dog slightly more so through the Shaman Wards, is they want to like take a fight into an objective. So once Hook and Wards come online, I imagine they just want to go every time those are up, get a pick, get a tier 1. Go for me. But right now it's hard to go on 2 lanes. Like, you don't want to go to the Bristles lane. He's one tanky. Want to stay away from that hero for at least another like 5-10 minutes, I think.
That's for me.
Poison him.
Denied.
Maybe get a kill top?
Stop. J4.
Oh, that's really bad.
That's a bad Ravage. He's not really going to do anything for her. Not even Ravage there. J4 just the support.
Probably just forgot about Sunstrike, to be honest.
Incoming.
Oh, another good kill.
Awkward's going to be dead.
Dire's
On.
bottom tower
The cold
is under
snap.
attack.
Chaos Meteor. Or the Chaotic Meteor. Chaos Meteor. Somebody correct me. Alrighty, chat.
Dire's bottom
But
tower is
also,
under attack.
where?
Obviously, it's not a good Ravage, but it's not something that's like worth harping on.
Dire's middle
By
tower.
the time Fox gets to level 6, and then it's going to be up in around like 30 seconds anyway, so it's not too big of a deal.
And a half, but it does, you know, push them back. Clock's really close. He is level 6 now. He could have fought right now. Would have had the Shadow Shaman. They could have maybe looked for a big time
Dire's top
fight.
tower is under
Down
attack.
4,000 net worth. Now stopping one.
I'm not sure Ravage is the tool that enables him to fight though, because Bristle's going to be
Dire's top
Oh
tower
man,
is under
that was
attack.
a hook shot.
Radiant's
feels
bottom
bad,
tower
man.
is under attack.
But like, if they actually wanted to take a 5-on-5 fight, like, look at how they're setting up bottom. There's going to be plague wards everywhere. Bristol's in the front.
Dire's structures are fortified.
It's not the easiest thing to get like a worthwhile Ravage unless you flank the smoke or the fight gets baited by hook shots and people, you know, don't respect your Ravage.
Are fortified. Radiant's bottom tower has fallen.
Both tier 1s taken out for both sides in the city. He's looking for his Ag, so is Kato. Loda, he's got himself.
Dire's top tower is under
That
attack.
he might look to fight her. At least be a little bit more aggressive and not let.
Radiant's middle tower is under attack.
I think the tier 1, at least in the safe lane, it's becoming like a very irrelevant tower. And you're quite happy to trade it off because they're playing their own game. I think they feel like they're going to win if they play their own game.
Hard. There they finally get the strike. Sunstrike from Nikki is going to end up taking out Milan. So it is a 1-1. Very much
Radiant's bottom tower is
dog.
under attack.
Take out that Bristle carry. But Sunstrike coming in from something on the return.
And now we get to see if in the next 2 minutes, when Slada's 100 away from his blink, if they can punish the Ravage cooldown. Because on its own, using those 2 ults, getting the kill on Bristle, really good value. But you don't have that for a while now. Slada is just about to get his blink parried out. Bristle's going to come back up. He's still tanky as all hell. The only thing that's going to kill him is the Requiem into a Reaper Scythe after a few right clicks. His team's around, that isn't easy to pull off. So if they want to play really aggressive, now's the time. But I have a feeling they're just going to default to farm, because they're getting the better end of the farm game. If they're not just going to Midas,
Radiant's
you know,
middle
it's like,
tower is under attack. Dire's
pick
turret
them apart
has
with the
been
Slardar blink, push in lanes, play with Puddle.
By the way, Courier got killed with the blink dagger of Slardar on the bottom.
Can you see where it died? I think they removed it, but still. That's a pretty big deal, actually. And then they get the Veno kill, so by the time Veno's up, Ravage is available, Shadow Fiend has his Shadow Blade, ready to go on top of the wards, Hook will be up by the time Ravage is up, and they're good to go. If they want to wait like a few hundred gold for Necro to finish his mech, they could. I'm kind of surprised he's going for it. But I think this speaks to their game plan. That they want to be like able to sustain through all of the Veno aids and Bristleback quells, and then win the fight after that.
As a gamer, you know how frustrating it can be when you experience slow or inconsistent game reaction. You just can't compete. Fluctuations in game speed, or lag, most frequently occur due to your internet connection. When you play, your game data travels across the internet, which is a large, shared, public data highway that can subject your data to detours, bad routers, and congested traffic. These things frequently lead to slower, more irregular data speed and gameplay. However, there is a solution. What the Fast is a gamer's private network. An internet network built exclusively for gamers and their game data. What the Fast gives your game data a private internet connection that optimizes the data path, eliminates detours, bad routers, and congested traffic, providing ultra-fast data delivery. On average, What the Fast reduces user game ping 30 to 60%, reduces user speed deviation 70 to 90%, reduces bad router hops 70 to 90%, and What the Fast provides connection speed reporting, works with virtually all MMO games, and always ensures you have an optimal game connection and speed. To start using What the Fast, simply download, install, and launch. Use WT Fast to connect to your game whenever you want to play.
Using the Ravage correctly, seemed to take a lot just to kill Loda. Throwing all that on just a Bristleback, that open up for the rest of it. All down, stacking him on Loda, got coming down on Loda, Cogs. Throw some quills on her. That's like dog. By into the spine. What? Cogs. Into the shackles. Here comes the on 3 Reapers. Right doing. They finally get that kill on Loda. Thanks to the team. Answering the question. Asking what that he's done. Really backing up. Oh.
But the Veno is split pushing, so they basically trade 1 for 1. And if they don't manage to get the tower here, I don't think the Dire Stack are going to be they get the tower trade, and now they're going to bleed more kills.
That'll probably transition to a kill on the Kato as well. Kato buys back. TP from Swift ended.
Okay, so to go back to your question first and foremost, I think if they kill Bristle at this stage of the game, that's all they care about. Invoker, like, he's a one-trick pony at this stage. He doesn't have the tools he needs to, like, carry the fights just yet. Give him 10-15 minutes and that changes, I think. But at the moment, you know, they're more than happy to, like, blow all their ults to kill a Bristle. Especially when Neek was playing like this, like, he's just split pushing and AFK farming. And I feel like it's really hurting though. If that's a call, and, you know, they're happy with that trade, then fair enough, I suppose. Another thing I also want to point out is this Coddle build is, like, triggering the hell out of me. A level 1 mana leak is complete garbage. If you take Spirit Form, you can split push better. If you had that point, you could bring the Venno that was going to kill the tier 2 with the wards anyway to that top fight. You can also use it to push the Clockwork out of the cog so he's not solo killing you. You know, like, there's a lot of reasons that the ult is really good here. If you change that point, I think the last fight goes completely differently. Because they pretty much ravaged one person.
Yeah,
And the Invoker got a 3-man combo. If the Venno gets to, like, get recalled into the middle of the fight, you know, he just presses R, presses Gale on like 2-3 heroes that got tornadoed, and the fight probably gets won.
Said he pushes. He did a good job getting quite a bit of damage on his tier 3 though. Not a terrible trade, but I see your point definitely. Where if Venomancer comes up there, maybe that puts him around of getting, you know, damage.
Oh, and now they smoke with reward.
Dire's middle tower
That
is
feels
under
bad.
With flair.
Yeah, I don't think the Venno made a bad decision. I just think, like, he probably thought the Coddle could recall him, because he's now got the point. Instead of the other 2 spells, which I think is correct. And now they want to Silver Edge.
Silver Edge on Shadow Fiend proving to be what a disaster for this all damn.
This game is...
Planet Dog.
I think the wards will be good enough to ruin them, honestly. Like, Ravage is also up in 2 seconds. They've got a pipe, they've got a mech. They're really tanky right now. So unless Invoker gets some God combo, I think they're good. Now he's just gonna vote as well. I can get like 3 more heroes here. Venno didn't zone him. Register Roche.
Picks up the Aegis, and they don't even get the kill. Loda back in that fight for just a moment. So a huge turnaround in Planet Dog, taking control of this game overall.
How to throw Dota 101.
has fallen.
Sounds a bit harsh, but like, it's kind of true. Say again, sorry?
Just how to throw Dota.
They're doing the video basis for the book that's about to come out on how to throw Dota 2.
Crush comes out on 2. Blinding Lights to push them back should save the life. Far enough away.
A pretty good disengage, and they got a lot of damage on their tier 2. See, like, that's how I expect the fights to go most of the time. A, obviously Planet Dog didn't have their ult sub, so when they got out, it's pretty much, you know, leave whoever. Because adding any more to fight is just suicide for them. But even with the ults, like when... I'm just gonna call them Alliance because Loda a few times, so sorry for that, but... When this happens, like... I don't know, 8 minutes ago, they're in such a good spot. Like, this top fight kind of, you know, really threw them for a loop. And also with the Coddle being such underfarmed hero this game, Like they could have gone for the Ags a lot earlier and just like let Slardar buy some wards, or hell, let Venner buy wards. Honestly, he was farming half the map anyway, and then they could have had this Ags and be able to end the game almost. It's slightly untraditional, but I don't think you pick this hero as a 5 in this kind of draft. I don't know, maybe I'm slightly biased just because I understand that Ag is... I've had such good experiences with it in the past, and Planet Dog don't have a lot of damage. Like, once they've blown all their stuff, Illuminate heal counters like a full Requiem and a Ravage nearly 100%, unless you're right on top of a Requiem. So what do they have as damage? You know, a few nukes from Shadow Fiend and Necro, and that's about it. But they're by no means out of the game. They have an Invoker, playing pretty well. His farm's decent. He's just gonna die if he wants to die.
Dog smoke, Dove going towards this tier 2 smoke. It's gonna be broken. They're gonna try and get this kill out and come with more blade ward. Ooh. Ward there. With him, acting out left.
Pretty sure both teams know what's up now. With all the ults available, they feel like they're going to be pretty comfortable with tier 2. Plague Wards aren't as bad as they were like 10 minutes ago. Shadow Fiend is pretty hard, he can take them down in 1 or 2 hits. They have their pipe on tight, so let's just go. And Invoker's doing the right thing, split pushing. If they want to take a fight, then the Coddle can recall him in 10 or 15, or he can just TP to the base. And they delay as long as they can to like let them get the trades.
Serpent Ward's used, and it's a tier 2 of his own up top. A.Loda, he might get a little bit of trouble to
This ward's just winning the game.
Now Milan, he looks like he's going to drop as well. Necro's going to get a whole bunch of double swift endings to get up by that tornado. He's got that much pace, and the Sunstrike slams him down, and 3 are dead on the side of Planet Dog.
They even had Sentry as well. Like, this ward just made it so easy for the Dire side to play that. Their D push is, you know, pretty strong between all the heroes. Boku gets perfect knowledge of when heroes are TPing away, so he can space his hero correctly, and then they just run them down at the end. And now you see them just, you know, look pretty comfortable. The Coddle's 100 away from his Ags. Fortunately, don't think they're going to be able to time it with a Roche. But they still have 2 minutes on daytime if he gets it like right now. They might be able to get a tier 2 if they would like to push. If not, they can just keep farming, because I think that's the way they win. As well, you know, just let the game go late.
Right back to 9.
That's actually a big deal.
Yeah, that was. See what he goes, and Blink Southern Crush gonna miss on J4, just gonna hex him up. There's still
So A.Loda is committing the Radiance. And Invoker gets picked by Requiem. That's kind of the time you don't want him to be split pushing, because the Coddle's got his item. That's like the safe zone. If you're near the Coddle, you're pretty Gucci. And the other team like knew where they were. They showed mid heroes, so they knew they could make that play. And it's by no means the rewrite of how to throw Dota 2, but it's probably a kill they didn't need to give away.
Rolling his fob, trying to make something happen to him. Possibly load up with.
I think they're just going to walk towards the tower. Nico's already setting up though. Yeah, I think this is just dead. They're forfeiting this.
Yeah, this time it's finished on Loda.
It's in his stash still though.
Pick that up and that changes anything in the big fights ahead. So all cooldowns are ready to go. ALLFAN are the ones they're going to sit back before controlling.
I feel like they're probably just quite happy playing defensive and reactive right now.
Kill off this Venomancer coming in deep. Not going to be enough, actually. Try to run away, but the switch does end up getting that.
And they still have Ravage, so they might be able to do some.
They're going to TP over Ghost Walk just to get
Radiant's
that
I really like his item choices too. It feels really intuitive and smart. Like, the pipe's the obvious choice, right? But most people like having a mech at some point and would probably have foregone the Solar Crest, which makes killing Bristol so much easier, especially with Silver Russian play. They have a lot of physical damage on the wards if they can get a trap in the cogs or something, so pretty sure it also contributed a lot to taking Roche on point, so value town. I'm pretty sure it still needs a real nerf.
away, and Mickey's using that
Yeah, he's going for Blood Fawn as well now, so not the usual follow-up item, but I like it a lot. As far as I know, the Serpent Ward's crit as well, right? It's kind of an insignificant thing. It's mostly just getting silence. The damage output is the same as well.
Get out of the way.
30 seconds till daytime. Gem picked up on Insania. So they should be able to get all these wards before Planet Dog go for a big push. They're doing a pretty good job of just moving the heroes around the map and prolonging the game enough.
pushing in. Try to get a tier 3 and force the hand of come back. Moved up on the opposite sides of the planet. They push their way bottom.
I feel like they've got a good read on the situation because of what they've got here. So they should know what's happening. And if they can force them back while all the other that's a win on their part. They're probably not going to kick them off if Pento don't do any like stupid TPs.
Kaiser's the only one coming in just to defend the base with the double damage, but the rest of the team, they're coming in smart. They want to flank these heroes of ALLFAN. See if they can take them out. 40 already started. Backing off is going to be Mickey.
Oh, this will be huge.
God. Escaping.
And those are the things that I think are gonna like define the game. If he dies there, it's huge. But because he doesn't, they buy a lot of time. They can rinse and repeat doing that a few times, and I think they're in a perfectly good spot because of it. They're just abusing Coddle really well.
Radiant's middle tower.
Look over A.Loda still with that Radiance going for the Octarine core next. One big net worth lead above the side of Planet Dog. They're ready to defend these Wave Wars.
He missed his hook because the creep body blocked him, feels bad. Now Sada gets to make more space. I think he's Gucci. Like, this is real space, you know, he's not dying and he's making space.
Doesn't even get caught out. They end up forcing just chasing him. You've got Mickey pushing back. Are just farming away, has that ag.
Yeah, he just has what, just over a minute left? Minute and a half? So they're probably going to want to try and use it. The problem is it's so hard to go high ground, and it's also so hard to catch the heroes that are spinning.
Four steps forward, gets out of the cogs. He's just going to be able to run away. He's got the urn on him.
Yeah, he's doing the backpack trick as well, so even if they're chasing him, he's not now he's just going to get recalled most likely. Or is J4 actually going to be able to solo kill? That's the SF TP.
Like they're kind of in no man's land. Gonna get back to this bottom tier 3 and kind of defend their towers. Getting at bottom.
Aegis will be out in about 20 seconds. They'll have one less tool to use if they actually do get involved in a fight. If they can, I still think they're fine if they actually get the fight, especially at night time. But the way the dire side are playing, they're just doing everything they can to prolong the game. And they're getting to the point where like the Invoker pretty much has everything he needs except level 25. They contribute to fights. Soon Bristle will have his Octarine, which is going to give him a lot of sustain. I'm not sure it's going to be enough if they can focus everything on him, but that's kind of like the Invoker's job to stop that happening. And to some extent the Coddle as well, by like pushing people with the light, etc. Landing a heal as well.
That Silver Edge sort of kill. He gets the Silver Edge critic, but gonna be able to kill off ready and waiting by the team. I mean, Loda's just kind of on the edge. Meanwhile, down bottom, Mickey, he's going to be pushing once again up top.
Yeah, I've got 2 waves now.
Making space.
I'm sure Loda's not happy right now. But this is really good for them because they've got 2 waves pushing towards the base. It's nighttime. The Venom just got cut out, so he's like half-life. He's probably going to have to pop a shrine if he wants to stay and put his annoying little wards down. And we also have the luxury of seeing Loda is like completely out of position, no TP as well, so the Collar's going to have to recall him in like 2 seconds. Have a different hero. Now they just get to hit the tower while they drop their wards, and it's going to be a tier 3 minimum. I think even with the glyph, they at worst they can do the SF from away. But if they want to play really, really safe, then I think this is their window though. Take the tier 3.
There's not enough to take it off again. This Kaiser goes out. Again, Mickey just putting that tiny bit of pressure. They don't get everything they want in the lane. Realize just find a dog for what seems like the 2nd or 3rd time.
If anything, they're getting the better end of the tower trades as well, because the bottom tower is the same as their mid tower, and so top tower on the Radiant side's half-life, so a few more of these trades and they'll be dead. Oh, he's still dead.
No, just continue to go forward, gets that kill. Now Kaiser, he's dead. 90 seconds, very buyback. This is huge. 33, he's gonna try and look for that Ravage, but they lose Shadow Fiend, dead for 75 seconds.
You might know. Like if they checked his inventory, Force Staff was new, BOTs were new. That's 4 people, probably sitting on the floor. This is another good pick. And they waste the Reapers on a link. Riding cheese? He has no buyback.
And the Necro are dead with no buyback. As quickly as they can, trying to find out. They buy back and they'll probably take it down the rest.
Without these heroes, there's just no damage on the table at all. They have a few bombs to control. It's really not that much at all. This could be 2 sets if they just swing top. They're probably going to regret the fact the SF is down. Take the 1.
Take the bottom rack.
It's daytime now though, so it's about as good of an option as any to just clear up the tier 2 and continue playing. Same game, I suppose. Opting to take Shrine instead of the tier 2, slightly safer route. There's Arcane Rune as well, which Bristle or Invoker can grab. I suppose Bristle benefits a bit more.
Could be their opportunity to finish this game.
I'm not sure why they smoked, to be honest. I feel like it's pretty obvious where the Radiant are, and you want to go to Roche anyway. The Rocket scouting out. It doesn't really matter if the Radiant sides are.
They're gonna try and do most.
Trying to zone them out with Playboard.
Oh, he's in between those circles! The Venomancer is dead for 2 minutes. Roche, you get that kill onto J4. Now they're gonna come out.
to the same game plan that it has been for the past 15 minutes or so.
You know, if one of these teams just had an Ogre Magi
Clean water.
You reckon he could have clicked Force Staff and Glimmer Cape and saved his carry?
not only that, he'd get the body block.
I can get behind that idea. That's why both these teams are struggling right now.
They don't have Coops.
They don't have the God player.
Oh, wow.
That was just luck.
Just getting out. Look for him. Bridge not going to work out for him.
Soldier's fortune.
Not sure they can push now though. It's just like this wall of wards. They have to pipe a wave to get it to high ground, and then they don't have the pipe to fight, and they have to find a situation where they're getting heroes. At least, like, no one's split pushing right now. That's a huge upside for the Radiant. Why are like really scared? They wanted to be there. Really good reaction for him to not use it, and his team just saved him with Force. And now we have a Mexican standoff where the plays like that are going to dictate, you know, who comes out ahead. I think if he pops his PKB there, they have to just back off. Instead, they can stay around a bit. They need like a hook in first, I think. It's really hard because of all these plague wards for him to get a good ravage. At least he has the Force now, so he doesn't have to blink.
This tornado comes down on Shadow. He doesn't make anything of this.
Now come with me, says, fuck this shit, I'm gonna go split push, boys. Which I don't think it's too bad, because, like, yes, Invoker's one you want to be split pushing with, but if he isn't here when the kill happens, it's really scary. So I think it's actually a really good call on their part to play it this way, because the other two waves are going to push in. I mean, ideally Slider goes like this and cuts the wave. So that, Six
a little bit of trouble there. Standoff, and the winner is going to be the ALLFAN squad with Loda.
And didn't even buy back, so when Loda's not the one getting reaped, you see how much damage and the stuff he does in fights. A lot of it's like attributed to the Radiance as well. You know, he just has this constant tick of damage.
Radiant's top tower is under attack.
Use that shield right Kaiser, you might be in a little bit of trouble. Closing out is using himself away. He's just safe.
He's still away.
Running away from the man on his back.
Objective taken, like to piece it.
Both shots gonna miss, but I think that would have put.
Probably happy he didn't hit it, to be honest. Dead Force is available, so
Good for me.
So that whole time Invoker's dead.
Being down a game in their series. Nikwa closing in on that Octarine core. Once he has that and buyback, I'm assuming is what he's waiting for. How much is Octarine core actually? It's like 5 point something. 5.9. So he should have it with buyback now. Yep, there he is. After he sells his wand, there he is. Just gonna buy it straight up. He's gonna be super hard to bring down. Gets his ult off on everybody. He's just gonna be super farmed. I remember I lost the game to an Ember Spirit, or actually I didn't lose the game, but the Ember Spirit almost wiped everybody on our team because he just was lifestealing with Octarine core. Was on like 200 HP the entire time, and his Flame Guard just was soaking up all the magic damage, so it was like completely irrelevant. And this is something similar, although he won't have the extra 1000 HP versus magic damage. Zania summoning someone? Loda. Hop the shrine, clearly by accident. He's going to pick up that arcane rune, and maybe we'll see a smoke play? Does he feel he needs to beat KB? Courier's dead, so... But it is dead daytime, so they can go for a play. Boop. God, the spam is so insane. Like, they can never push on this team. But, Satanic now completed, actually. He didn't go for the AC, but for Satanic as well. No buyback. If he dies now, that could be very bad. Although, Shadow Fiend is very tanky. 3k HP on him. Smoke up, come with me. Running ahead of his team. 3-3 seems to be the man that they'd catch if they went for it. So they will waste the smoke. I think they have more. They do. Bristleback. I guess they wanted to wait for Bristleback's BKB. Curry as well. Meanwhile, there's a smoke on Planet Dog. Hookshot forward. They managed to catch one. It is the Venomancer. Can he get his ult off? No, it's dead for 130 seconds. He will buy back into this fight, but the Meatball's happening blast doing so much, as well as the 3-man crush from Come With Me. This ending is in a lot of trouble. Ice Wall will miss because of the force staff, and even with the he's dead. And actually, the tornado as well. He's just gonna beat. They've got no Ravage for the fight. 3-3 is gonna do his best to get himself out of there. Indeed, 16 for ALLFAN, and they're going to be closing in on this last Rax. They're going to commit all their buybacks. They know they need to defend. Milan's got the hook shot. Who's he going to go for? J4 blocks the hook shot. Now Come With Me. Blink Crush manages to land on a 2. I think J4 is going to be dead before he even gets anything off. Ravage is committed. He's actually got it up again. And with managed to bring anybody down. Kaiser's gonna have his Requiem canceled and Swift Ending is falling low. I think this is game. That's a with the wave, and GG is called. Milan calls it. Mega kill for Loda, and that will be game 1 of the Open EU Finals, with Team ALLFAN taking a lead off of a very solid draft there, I have to say.
she gets nerfed again. No, she's either completely destructive to the metagame or she's irrelevant. Sometimes you could see her as a support beforehand when she was like really underpicked. But I feel like this hero never